Our group decided to look into the topic of film and culture, wanting to find an answer to our research question. How did the filming of Percy Jackson impact the Parthenon in Nashville, both locally and globally?
The Parthenon in Centennial Park in Nashville, Tennessee is a full-scale replica of the original Parthenon in Athens, Greece. It was designed by Confederate veteran William Crawford Smith and built in 1897 as part of the Tennessee Centennial Exposition. It was meant to be temporary along with the other structures at the exposition, but it captured the hearts and minds of the people of Nashville. It was used as a museum and then rebuilt with concrete to be a permanent structure in the 1920s. Painstaking detail and accuracy was put into the Parthenon, which has created worldwide recognition to this day.
The Nashville Parthenon plays a large role in the movie Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, where the heroes must go to find and collect a pearl located on Athena's crown.
The Parthenon was a fascinating place to go sightseeing. The artwork displayed. We even got to conduct an interview to discuss how the Percy Jackson film was involved in the Parthenon and how it impacted the audience.
I called the Parthenon a few days before our group was going to meet in order to set up an interview. I was told to ask for Lauren Bufford, who was involved in coordinating the filming done at the Parthenon for Percy Jackson.
Here's the thing about Percy Jackson. They never filmed inside the building, but about a year before they ever even came here, their location scouts started to contact us. When they first contacted us, we thought that all they wanted to do was just film outside, that they wanted columns because it's Greek looking. I had read the books, a couple of other people here had read the books, so we were like, sure, we can work with you. We didn't realize that they were going to make like a major part of the story take place in our building. And once we found that out, we were super excited. Once we said okay, there was a series of things that then happened where they would send down their art directors here, because if you've seen the film, you know that they're not actually ever in our building. But they built a replica of this space on a soundstage in Canada, I think, and they wanted it to look exactly right down to our brochures. They took pictures of the walls, the floors, the doors, everything. They were really trying for it to be the Nashville Parthenon. When they actually shot here, I think it was maybe 3 days. They shot they closed part of the park down. We had to close our building, so we had to get permission from our bosses for closing the building to the public. And then, so about half the park was a movie set. They filmed right up to the point where the kids come into the building. You know how they come in through those doors? So right up to there, and then after that it's a set. To do a major film like that, I mean, it's a huge endeavor. And it's the only one that, we've had small things filmed up here, we've had student films up here. A couple of documentaries have been made up here. That's the only major motion picture that I know of that filmed inside our building as our building. You know, sometimes somebody wants like a column or something that looks Greek, but this was the Nashville Parthenon.
Yeah.
They even say it when they're driving in the car on their way. One of them says, "Who would have ever thought there was a Parthenon in Nashville?" And that just blew me away. That was like a free advertisement for us.
Yeah, I was going to say, did that boost tourism? Absolutely, yeah.
Middle school age, I guess, is who reads those books, so we still get kids coming in who say Percy Jackson, they've seen the movie. When the movie came out, we had a bump. When it went into video, we had a bump in terms of visitation. And then when the second movie came out, there was even a bump, because everyone was going back to watch the first movie.
Yeah.
But that didn't affect us as much. But no, it's really been great. We do have a lot of international visitors from all over the world who come and visit. Our visitation is about 275,000 people a year.
After talking to Lauren, we were given the names of 2 other people to interview: Rex, a security guard, and Joanne, a volunteer who guides tours. All were happy to help and answer our questions.
When I saw the Percy Jackson movie, me and my sister actually decided we got to come in here and make sure this statue over here looks exactly like in the movie. And we came in here and had to verify that, but that was one of the cool things we did. They've heard stories of them zip lining over the statues and stuff like that. And I always tell them it was a portion of it was literally filmed in here. They used this as a rubric, and to what they really want to base it off of. I don't think they were able to film in here entirely because of copyright due to the statue and stuff, but I know they filmed outside. It's crazy, and that's part of the cool things about this job is you get to interact with so many different people. Yesterday we had somebody from Italy, and then 5 minutes later it was Germany, and you have 2 weeks ago we had Ukraine, a whole bunch of people from Ukraine here and stuff, and just talking to them, we talked about the different cultural things, and especially in Ukraine they have the big little war going on over there. And a little while you said it in small text, but they have a war over there, and talking to him, and he's just like, yeah, I moved to America to sort of get away from that, and he gave me something like the backing of it. It was big, like the higher ups are the main ones that have money, and they're just manipulating the little people and stuff. So that's one of the reasons why he wanted to come to America and get away from that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. France is one of our huge international places that they like to come here, people that like to come here and stuff, and it's cool to hear their different accents and stuff. Yeah, we meet a variety of different people, and that's one of the cool things about it.
We had a rash of visitors that were like sixth graders that they begged their parents to come here, so they came just to see where the film was. But just generally, younger kids love mythology, and so they really like to come here. That's awesome. Yep, and they know a lot of things. And their teachers and their parents are so surprised when they can tell me what everything is on the statue. It's kind of great. But this is pretty international. We'll get people from all over the world. Then there's also in town there's a Buddhist temple, and so we'll get people from there. And there's an Indian temple, so some days there's a special holiday and I'll be the only woman here that's not wearing a sari. And the Greek bishops have been here, so that's kind of neat.
Also, I think Greek people come here to
Yes, they come to check it out. But there's also
like the original.
The southeastern bishops for the Greek Orthodox Church have had meetings here, and they come to Parthenon, and I've seen them. So, and it's really weird because there's a pick city every time I come, because I ask people where they're from, and then one day you'll come in and everybody's from, we had a tour, and then other additional people that weren't on the tour, they were all from Idaho or Pittsburgh. It's like it has to do with when spring breaks are or whatever, but it is amazing how many of the same people choose to travel here at the same time. And I wonder if that has to do with our advertising, and they get a big advertising spurt, and then we'll get a lot of people there. But I've not done enough research to know that. Every once in a while you get somebody that really believes in the goddess, and they will come and they'll kneel, and they give gifts. One lady left a jar of olives. It's kind of, they have a whole, it's pretty wild.
When it comes to answering our research question, we can see from our interviews that the Percy Jackson movie did have a large impact for the Parthenon, attracting more people both locally and globally.